Right then, this is the bench setup of my soon to be car computer. So I've got hopefully some of the major components. I've got an Acer Revo 3600 computer, which is a net-top PC, a media center PC, which is going to be the brains behind it all. I've got a 7-inch touchscreen Lilliput monitor. I've got a Carnetics P1900 DC to DC power converter. I've got this box which is acting as my permanent live battery on my car, and a mass of wires. Initially the power cables come into this P1900 device, which is going to control everything, and this is then what has the output turns on, such as the monitor, but also as an output feed to turn on the PC. The power is obviously not controlled. The power is provided to the PC from there, but the control is also done from the 1900, which goes into the control, the power button, which I've hacked, and maybe I'll show you another video. Basically, when this turns on, this shorts the two wires across here, which is the same as pressing the power button. This switch I've got here is just another dashboard switch for my Volkswagen car, and this acts as a pulse to turn on, which feeds into this terminal block, so I can have it as an on-off switch in case I want to have it switched on. I put these into a terminal block so I can work the wiring out a little bit easier. The red wires are obviously permanent live, the yellow wire will go to the ignition, the blue wires are pulse, and the two blacks are the just common earth. The yellow wire will go to the ignition, but then it means every time I turn the radio on, turn the car on, the computer will come on by itself. So I've got this little double pole on-off switch that I was going to wire into the ignition wire, such that when the ignition wire comes to here, providing this is on the on switch, then this will come on automatically. But if there's any reason why I didn't want that, so if my car was going for a service, I could turn this off, and then when the mechanics start the car, at least the computer wouldn't turn on. So this is my on-off switch at the moment. If you can imagine that I'm starting the car, or dip the button to wish to turn the stereo on, instantly the screen starts up and lights up, but inside here you can see a little red light flashing, and that's a dead man switch. It's already turned the PC on over here, and the computer's already into full boot mode. Now what that's done is that's taken my request to turn on, triggered the monitor to come on, but also the PC through this, it's called the ACPI lead, and that's literally just shorted the two terminals across that, which, as I said earlier, turns on the PC, and again displays out on the touchscreen. So this is just Windows 8 on here, that boots up quite quick. Got some extra modifications to do to that at the moment to make that a bit more streamlined, but the idea is that it's on. The deadman switch that I was saying in here, we'll just turn that slightly so you can see the red light in there. This is in this startup phase, so during this time that it's starting up various devices, it sends out late commands to your amplifier and so forth, so you don't get that speaker thump. But basically the Carnetics controls all of that through these outputs. So this is where the blue wire on the output side of things, which would go to the amplifier to tell it to start up, as well as taking these feeds out here. The wiring, I've powered this Lilliput monitor from the output of this, such that when the computer goes down, then the monitor goes off also. And if you can see that in there, the red light's solid, so this would be normal, driving to work mode. So when I come to work and I turn the ignition off, as if to stop the car totally, this will all stay on momentarily, and this will be managed by this. So if I turn off the car, you can see the light in there starting to flicker, and this is going to start the shutdown process, and this is already sending the command through to this PC through the ACPI leads. The monitor's gone off, and this will go off quite quickly as a result of there, so there's no input feed to there. As soon as the PC's shut itself down, then that will go off, obviously. There you go, so that's actually off, that's shut down, where one of the changes I'd like to make is to make that go into hibernation mode rather than full shutdown, just for speed of starting up and shutting down. But you can see the little red light is on there still, it's flashing away because it's still managing its shutdown process, and there's jumper settings in there that you can manage the time, how long this takes to shut down, and so forth. It's a very clever piece of kit. So it's still shutting down, and as soon as that's finished, the little fan on top is a little inch in diameter fan on top of there just to keep it cool. You'll hear that stop, and then there'll be almost silence, but the red light will go out as well. There you go, so that's off now. So that's the duration of how long after you turn the key off everything takes to shut down. Obviously I've got some other things here. I've got a Bluetooth adapter, a mini keyboard to add on to the computer, such that if I did need to, for any reason, use a mouse or type of command where the touchscreen wasn't working or wasn't good enough or accurate, then I could use that. But that's a minor problem. I've also got one of these 7-port USB hubs. This is actually a powered hub. So what I was going to do is just get the power cable, cut the mains electric side off, because this is 5 volt, wire this into the 5 volt output of this Carnetics. At the moment, the 2 wires I've got in place, the brown one is providing 12 volt power supply for the Lilliput monitor, but the red wire is going to provide 5 volt output, which again with the earth I can use to power devices such as a port hub. That's pretty much it. So apart from the software side of things, tweaks to make there, this is pretty much working, and the next task is to squeeze it into the dashboard of my car. So until next time.